Hello everybody, welcome to Grassroots Vegan. I'm David Kelly. So I had a request to talk about how I deal with stressful situations and how a vegan diet helps with that. That was a request by Justin Norman. Now, that depends on what kind of stress you're talking about. I think the idea is that when you become a vegan and you eat healthy or you're carbing up, you should be able to be emotionally balanced, mentally together, and everything just works okay for you. And you're a nice person and so on and so on. And it's not necessarily true. Now, when it comes to really critical situations, remarkably, I'm able to hold it together quite well and navigate through those difficult times. And yes, I make sure that I'm well carbed. I will not deprive myself of the necessary carbohydrates to keep my mind fueled and to keep my emotions in balance. But when it comes to what would be more trivial, stressful situations, I sometimes lose it. And I'll give you an example. Traffic. I am terrible in traffic. Just ask my kids. They can testify to this. And, I wasn't always uptight in traffic. And it's just something that's developed over the last couple of years. And the reason being is because in Toronto, I don't know what has happened, but the amount of construction has just exploded. And you can't go down any major street without getting hit by construction. And some of these construction zones have been up for over 2 years now. And it's messing up the city big time. Now, part of the problem is all the condominiums that are being built in Toronto, most of them of which are, there's no need for it. We have a glut of condominiums, but it's foreign investment that's buying these units up. A lot of them will just remain empty. But when these things are being built, they block a part of the street off. And so that's a part of the problem. And then there's the heavy equipment, the trucks that are coming in and out all the time do damage to the road. So I understand that, we need to keep our roads in good repair. And every winter we experience damage because of the cold weather. But what's going on now is way beyond that. There's construction going on that I'm convinced there's no need for it at all. They're replacing sidewalks that don't need to be replaced. And they're doing road repair in areas that it really doesn't need it. I mean, sure, eventually they'll need it, but it just didn't need it now, especially when you've already got other roads nearby blocked off. So there's no alternate routes you can take. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just getting worked up talking about this. So I just reached a point where I am not happy about this. I do not want to be happy about this. I am angry. I'm angry at how the city has managed this. And I'm not alone in those sentiments, believe me. So, I mean, the way to deal with it, I understand how you deal with that. You find your peace. You find when you're in a situation like in traffic where you have no control, you kind of surrender yourself to that situation. You breathe deeply. You learn to relax. Maybe, put on some nice music that you can enjoy, or you might have a motivational tape or a meditation tape or something. Tape. We don't play tapes anymore, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, isn't that nice? But I don't like the fact that what should be a 10-minute drive or a 15-minute drive ends up being a 45-minute or an hour and a half drive. So I have no intention of coming to terms with that because it's wrong. The way the city has managed construction is wrong. A part of it is job creation. I'm aware of that the city has been getting transfers from the province and the federal government to promote job creation. And this is what we're doing. We're just creating a lot of construction jobs because, Ontario at one time was the province for manufacturing. All the manufacturing jobs are gone. So this is it. Create a lot of construction jobs. And I guess you can look at the positive side. You've got all these guys working, right? So nevertheless, it's a pain in the ass being stuck in traffic for longer than what you have to be. And so I'm not good at handling that kind of stress. Another kind of stress I'm not good at handling is when I piss off the opposite sex. I don't get angry. I'm just at a total loss. I get frustrated. And where I experienced this, I mean, I just had this with my daughter over the weekend. I was teasing her about something, and she got upset. She told me to stop, and I didn't, I wasn't taking her seriously. And then she barged out of the room and was crying and stuff. And then I'm just like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And I'm just talking to my boy, saying, yeah, well, this woman, I just can't understand what's going on here, right? But, really, I'm feeling terrible inside. I want to fix the problem. I can't fix it. I try to talk to her, and it makes it worse. So it doesn't matter how much I carb up in those particular situations. I don't handle them well at all. And a part of it is, well, at least with the traffic, it's a choice. I'm choosing not to surrender myself to that reality, and I'm choosing to remain angry about it. And it's my choice. I accept that. Now, mind you, I don't let it consume my life. Once I'm out of the traffic and I'm back home or wherever, I diffuse it. And, that's it. If you let it continue to fester and fester, then that's where it can become a health issue, I would think. So when it comes to the big problems in life, like for example, last year my mother was dying and I had to spend a lot of time with her. There was a lot of legal aspects to it as well. And it was demanding 150% of me. And in those circumstances, I'm able to really deal with them quite well. I just put myself into a mindset. That's where I do surrender myself to the situation because it needs me, and it needs me at my best. And yes, I mean, of course, I always make sure that I'm eating well in those situations as well, because it's all too easy when you're dealing with a certain circumstance that is extremely stressful that you can neglect eating properly. You just kind of forget about it, or you just don't find the time to fit it in. I always manage to figure out a way to eat properly and to eat enough and to get a good night's rest, which is equally important. So I think overall I'm a pretty relaxed individual, and I'm able to manage my emotions and my train of thinking, except for when it comes to traffic in the city of Toronto. And if you live in Toronto, give me a thumbs up on that. You know what I'm talking about here. So that's it about stress. Take care.